Dr. Daniel Bober, psychiatrist, chief medical officer for the Mental Health Television Network. I'm in West from Hollywood, Florida. So I'm not giving any addict a pass. I know about the disease. I know about the predisposition. You hurt somebody else, you got to pay a price. Where am I going wrong?
I think it's a complicated issue, Bill. I agree that you don't absolve people of responsibility because they're substance users, but we know addiction is a brain disease. It does affect people's self-control, their ability to exercise restraint, their judgment, their insight, and sometimes they do hurt other people. But I do think that you're correct that we should not give them a free pass, and that people who commit crimes, whether they be substance abusers or not, need to suffer the consequences of their action. And in fact, even in dealing with addicts on a daily basis, we tell them you have to experience the natural consequences of your actions. So
okay.
I don't think that they are.
Yeah, it's just a matter of implementation. So let's run down a few things. Number one, all human beings have a free will. Even if you're predisposed to addiction, and I may be because I've had addiction in my family, and every single person watching me, all millions watching and listening tonight, doctor, have had addiction in their family or among their friends. Everyone. But just because you're predisposed doesn't mean you're going to become an addict. You have to choose to enter that life. You have to make a choice to do it. Nobody's forcing the booze down your throat or the needle into your arm. Okay? So you choose. And in this day and age, every single human being knows the danger of addiction, particularly with the fentanyl. Everybody knows it. Yet millions of Americans still choose to give up their life for substance abuse. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but I think human beings are deeply flawed, just like people choose to eat fried chicken and they get heart disease. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't approach them with compassion, with dignity and respect, but obviously they're still responsible for their actions.
All right. The best way to handle this, and I did my thesis at Harvard on this very subject, is mandatory substance rehabilitation for criminals. So you commit a crime and you're an addict, you come into the court and the judge says you either get a year or two, whatever it may be, or you go through the system and we hold you while we're going, or you go to rehab. Now, that's going to be a big investment on the part of the federal government and the state governments to build humane rehabilitation centers, and they should be humane, staffed by people like you, okay? But
well, that's already happening. Yeah.
But it's not happening on a national level. In Singapore, it does. Now, they're not real touchy-feely over in Singapore. So if you're caught under the influence of substance, you're gone for 22 months. Takes the market away. The pushers have nobody to sell to in Singapore. Plus, if they catch the pushers, you can be executed. They're going to hang you. Okay. So there's no drug problem in Singapore. None. And I went there to that country, extensively documented how Singapore eliminated all its drug problem. Remember, at one time, opium overran that country. Gone. That is the way to deal with substance abuse, is it not?
Listen, I understand you're taking a hardline approach, but addiction is about so many things. As you said, it's about genetics, it's about trauma, it's about poverty. It's a line that runs through every social ill in society. So you certainly can take a hardline approach, but it is a disease that needs treatment. There are drug courts that have diversion for people that are willing to get treatment, and a lot of times it's mandatory. But I think it's a very, very complicated psychosocial issue.
All right. But final thing, if a drug addict or alcoholic says, no, I don't want to be rehabbed, I like living in a state of inebriation, and most, according to all the studies, don't want rehab, then you have to be really tough or innocent people get hurt. Last word.
I agree with you. I think addiction is a very complicated disease. There's certainly an element of choice that's involved in it. And if people aren't willing to get help, then they have to experience the natural consequences of their actions.
All right, doctor. Appreciate it. Good to see you again.
Bill.
Thanks for helping us out.
Take care now.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.